Mother, don't worry. They're going to take a few tests. They're going to find out nothing is wrong with you, and they're going to send you home. And I'm going to be right here to hold your hand.
It's probably an intern, ready to turn me into some sort of guinea pig.
Will you just relax? The sooner they get this over with, the sooner you'll be able to leave.
Geraldine.
Hello, Nadine. I hope you're feeling all right. Raven?
You have a lot of nerve showing up here.
I have a very dear friend who's in the hospital. I thought it only proper to pay her a visit.
Will you please leave? My mother is sick, and your presence here disturbs her a great deal. Can't you get it through your head? She does not want to talk to you.
Like it or not, she's going to. Right now.
Mother, will you please tell her to leave? She'll listen to you.
Nadine, I'm asking you to listen to me. Surely I don't have to remind you that I've been your friend for more than 30 years. Certainly that gives me some rights.
Geraldine, please. I'm a very ill woman. That's why I'm in this place.
Right. You know, we can call someone and have you escorted right out of this hospital. That would be very embarrassing for you.
Oh, indeed it would. And it would be interesting to see you find someone willing to try. Now, Nadine, let us discuss quietly the reasons why you are unwilling even to talk to an old friend.
Geraldine, I don't want to discuss it. At least not now.
I don't want to tax your strength, my dear. But since we're all three here together, it seems to me a very good time to discuss it. I think I know what's been happening. Raven has been telling you tales about me, hasn't she? All right, Raven. Now you can repeat your stories in front of me.
My mother absolutely nothing but the truth, and you can deny it all you want, but she knows I'm not lying.
About what exactly?
I've told her about your contempt for her, about your nasty insinuations about her husband, and about the cheap gossip you've been spreading about her marriage.
Raven, please don't do this.
So that's it. That is the ridiculous accusation you've been making.
You've made those accusations, and you can't deny it.
Nadine, please listen to me. I have never peddled cheap gossip about you and Ansel. I have never so much as mentioned Ansel to anyone except to your daughter, and then only because obviously she was prying, deliberately trying to put words in my mouth.
Why would she do that?
I think I know exactly why. Would you like to tell her that, Raven?
Mother, are you going to lie there and let her make these accusations against me?
Raven, she is my friend. It's true. We've been friends too long.
If that's the way you feel about it, then I'm leaving.
Raven, please.
Now, Nadine, please listen to what I have to say. I did not come here to incite a riot between you and Raven. I came here because I care about you. Because I've been deeply hurt about this sudden friction between us. Please believe me when I tell you that I have never felt the slightest malice toward you.
Oh, what does it matter, Geraldine? Why should I worry about a lot of gossip here in Monticello? 4,000 miles away when there's been so much of it in London. Even among the servants in my own house.
I don't understand how Raven managed to convince you that I said those things.
She played a tape for me.
She did what?
She had a tape recorder with her the day she visited you. She said she did it because she wanted to prove to me that you'd been saying unpleasant things about me.
A tape recorder? Nadine, I would dearly love to hear that tape because I can bet anything that tape was very carefully edited.
Let's forget the whole thing happened.
But you have to know why it happened. Frankly, it's because she's afraid of me. Afraid of what I might tell you about her behavior.
There's very little anyone could tell me about Raven's behavior. If you had seen her in London, you... Oh, never mind. I doubt very much that she's afraid of anything that you might say about her. Especially since everything that I know about her is already so bad, Geraldine.
That may be. You wrote to me that you had disinherited Raven.
I haven't been able to touch her allowance. I can't really. That's a trust fund set up by her father. But I couldn't possibly make her my heir. After what she's done.
Perhaps she felt she could change your mind by being nice to you.
I told her nothing would change my mind. Nothing in the world. If she's determined to be virtuous, virtue will have its own reward.
But if she knew that, if she were not afraid of what I might tell you, then why did she go to such lengths to keep us apart?
Well, hello. Looks like a class reunion.
Hello, Jeremy. I hope you're taking good care of my friend here.
I intend to take the very best care of her because she's my friend, too. Everything comfortable so far,
Yes. Comfortable is the word for it.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a little doctoring for about 10 minutes. So if you could excuse us, Geraldine.
Of course. I'll just wait outside.
Gee, I hope you're not surprised I'm asking you for a raise, Mr. Dorn. I mean, I know you're giving me a couple of extra bucks a week than when I first started, but I started pretty low.
Okay, I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate what you've been doing here. I'm sure you know that you've become quite an attraction at the Unicorn.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate that, Mr. Dorn.
But this is still a disco, Kelly. It's not a supper club. You can't expect me to pay a lot of extra money for an added attraction.
But I'm giving 2 performances a night, and sometimes 3.
And then there's a question of profitability. In case you didn't know it, this club, unfortunately, is still operating in the red.
Oh, well, I thought business had picked up quite a bit.
More customers don't always mean more profit, Kelly. Well, perhaps in a couple of months.
Oh, well, that's okay, Mr. Dorn. I won't argue with you. But if you can't afford to pay me more money right now, why don't you just reduce my duties?
What does that mean?
Well, I was hired to run the light and sound system, and that's what I'm still doing, besides giving the puppet shows. So, why don't I just drop one or the other? It's your choice.
Kelly, I'm not sure you realize the opportunity you're getting. You know, puppeteers don't have that many outlets for their talents. And between you and me, not everybody appreciates your little friends.
Oh, well, that's true. You did give me my first break, and I really appreciate it. Maybe that'll get me my second break. Thank you, Mr. Dorn.
Kelly, 1 minute. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you?
No, sir. Just looking.
I see. Well, would you look a little bit less hard if I added, say, $30 to your weekly paycheck?
Well, I'd stop looking completely if you made it 50.
All right. I think that can be arranged.
Thanks very much, Mr. Dorn. I really appreciate it. In fact, I might even be able to afford my own apartment now.
I didn't hear you knock.
I have to talk to you. Could you get rid of the boy?
The boy was on his way out, ma'am.
Don't you dare call me ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Calm down. Those flames in your eyes are against the fire laws.
Geraldine is with Mother.
What?
Yes, Geraldine is with Mother. And God only knows what she's going to tell her.
I do want to discuss this further with you, Cliff, but Nancy's going to be here any minute. We're going to the hospital together.
But how could this guy think he was someone else?
Well, apparently his amnesia was so total that the people he lived with were able to imprint a new identity on him. Not a new personality, but a new name and a new background.
It shows some background. This Kirk Michaels was a crook, wasn't he?
Well, from what I understand, he was an unhappy young man who couldn't wait for the better things in life or even work for them, so he just decided to grab them.
But suppose that he was just bitter. I mean, suppose he did work for these things and he waited for them, and all of a sudden some miracle happened that came along and snatched them away from him.
Cliff, all you're doing is justifying criminal behavior.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Nancy.
Come in.
Hi there. Hi. How are you, Cliff?
Oh, well, fine.
Uh-huh. You look a little distracted. What, have you been working too hard?
Oh, no. Mike and I were just... I was just scratching my head about the things that Mike told me this morning, about Draper popping out of the grave.
Ah, vivid description. Not quite accurate.
I think it fits very well in this case. I mean, for months we thought this guy was dead, and all of a sudden he's alive and well.
He is alive and well, thank God. His memory is completely restored.
Yes, it's an incredible story, and I intend to tell it. I talked to Dad about an article I want to do.
It is a terrific story, but we don't know how it ends yet.
Well, it's a happy ending, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you could be happy about it, Cliff. My goodness, I remember how miserable you were because you were the prosecuting attorney who sent him to prison.
Yeah, not half as miserable as I was when I found out about that train crash. And that I was an innocent man on board that train.
So, in light of what's happened, I should think that you would feel relieved.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is great that Draper's okay. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, you don't know how awkward it was for me. I mean, I was responsible for his going to prison, and then there I am taking his place, emptying out his office.
Oh, I understand. Now you're wondering how you're going to feel emptying out your own office?
Well, Mike, I would like to talk to you about that. I mean, I understand Draper was here first, and I'm just the guy that took his place, but I think that I've done a very good job while I've been here.
I really don't think you have to talk about that now.
I know. It's terrible of me being so selfish and talking about this at this moment, but believe me, that wasn't my first thought when Mike told me the news. Honest. My first thought was about Draper. I mean, wow, this guy's alive. And then I thought about April. She must be in a state of shock. Then I thought about Cliff. He's out of a job.
Cliff, I really don't think this is the appropriate time to even think about such things. I promise you, we'll work out something that's going to satisfy everyone.
Honey, can't this be a three-man office?
Well, for the time being, I think we should just shelve the subject. I'm sure that something will work out for everyone.
Yeah, probably. You know, I wonder if something's going to work out for Logan.
Logan?
Yeah, sure. Just imagine how he feels. I mean, what were his first thoughts when he heard this news? I mean, he falls in love with a widow, and all of a sudden her husband appears? Now, there is a story. You ought to print that. That would really sell newspapers. Have a good lunch.
No, of course I didn't go to the hospital. I've been waiting for you. But I talked to him. You know, he sounds exactly the same. A little weak. But Miles, it's so strange. I mean, I never expected to hear that voice again. Oh! She's in seventh heaven, but she's very, very shocked. I mean, she can't believe it. It's happened. Neither can I. Oh, well, that would be great. Then we could go to the hospital together. Okay, well, that's fine too. Just call me as soon as you've got it all figured out, okay? Okay, of course. Bye-bye. Miles is going to try to get out of his meeting early.
Oh, that's terrific. If he's anything like you, he's very anxious to see his brother-in-law.
Isn't this the most fantastic thing you have ever heard?
Of course it is. Hey, you must be getting used to people popping up unexpectedly in your life these days.
Oh, you mean yourself. Well, as unexpected as you and Draper are, you're very, very welcome.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Ah, and I mean it, too. I'm very glad to have a sister, and I'm very, very glad to have a brother-in-law. Oh, wait till you meet him. You're going to love him. Everybody loves him. Especially April. Can you imagine what she must be feeling right now?
I imagine she has the happiest family in the world right now. It's kind of hard to picture all that happiness.
Especially when you haven't known very much, huh?
Yeah. No, I don't mean that. I have just got to stop all this self-pity stuff. A very important man told me that.
Oh, who?
Your husband.
When did he say this?
The other night, when you were down at the studio doing the news. I made him some hot chocolate, and we sat in this living room, I guess about until midnight, just talking. He's very interesting to listen to, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, he is. Miles doesn't say as much as some people, but what he has to say is worth hearing.
How did you say you met him?
In a hospital. That's where you meet a lot of doctors.
Was he your doctor?
Mm-mm. No, not exactly. My doctor was an obstetrician. Miles was the chief of staff at the hospital.
Oh, you mean you were having Adam at the time?
Yeah. I was in the hospital for a couple of months before Adam was born. It was a difficult pregnancy.
Oh, really?
Yes. But as you saw by that little boy we just dropped off at nursery school, everything turned out just fine.
Yes, and you got yourself a terrific husband.
I'm very glad you appreciate him.
I do appreciate him. I just wonder if he appreciates me.
That's a very strange thing to say.
Well, you know what I mean. You're my sister, flesh and blood and all that stuff. So you probably find it a lot easier to like me than he... Oh, forget it. It's dumb.
Jody, I'm sure Miles likes you.
Did he ever tell you that?
Yes, he did, as a matter of fact, more than once. He likes you very much.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. You want me to get that?
I will. Hold on. Coming. Hello.
Nicole, it's Dr. Stewart.
Oh, Dr. Stewart, hello. This is a surprise. Have I forgotten an appointment or something?
No. It's just that I got back from the hospital a few minutes ago and found that blood test of yours back from the laboratory. Now, there's nothing to worry about because it's probably some sort of lab error.
An error? What kind of error?
Yeah, just something peculiar about the cell count. Nothing that would indicate anything serious, even if it's correct. But just the same, I'd like to double-check these results.
Oh, well, with me or with the lab?
With you, I'm afraid, which means another little bloodletting. I hope you won't mind coming in just to give me another sample, would you?
No, I could come in tomorrow, if that's all right.
Well, that's fine. Say in the morning?
Oh, okay, sure.
Good.
I'll see you then. Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Nadine, how I would love to hear that tape recording that Raven made. But I can guarantee you, it doesn't even come close to what actually was said in my living room that day.
I wouldn't put anything past her.
She was trying to keep me from telling you about her and Elliot Dorn. But above all, about her treatment of Jamie.
But she's treating Jamie beautifully. He seems to be perfectly healthy and happy.
Did Raven tell you that she literally stole that baby from Logan?
No, she didn't.
That's precisely what happened. Jamie was sick one day, had a terrible fever, and had to be taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, Raven got to the hospital before Logan did on the morning the baby was released.
That wasn't exactly stealing him, was it?
It was nothing less. You see, she thought that having possession of Jamie would help her custody case. And let me assure you of another thing. The only reason that Jamie is receiving such good treatment now is because you're here.
I can't believe that Raven would mistreat her boy.
Nadine, it is very difficult for me to say this. Raven doesn't want her son.
I can't believe that. Then why would she go through the trouble of stealing him and go through this awful custody battle?
I don't know. Frankly, it baffles me, and Logan, too. Personally, I think it's just spite, pure malice. She wants to punish Logan for the breakup of their marriage. And believe you me, it is the best possible way to do it. Because he loved that little boy to distraction.
It makes no sense.
Nadine, she tried to give the baby away. If you don't believe me, then call your stepson, Draper Scott, and his wife. They will tell you that one night, Raven dropped the baby off at their home. She left him there and then flew to London. Left him with a letter giving them all rights to Jamie forever.
This is incredible, Geraldine. She didn't tell me any of this.
That letter no longer exists. Raven destroyed it herself. But now, thank heavens, there are two witnesses who can tell the court and you the truth. that Raven abandoned her own baby. Call them. Find out the truth for yourself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean this to turn into an attack on Raven. I simply wanted to know if I still had a friend.
Yes, Geraldine. You never lost me.
I'll let you rest now, but I'll look in on you whenever you're permitted. You can't escape me, you know.
Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you. Why? Why? Operator, I'd like to place a call to London, England. I don't have the number handy, but it's a firm of solicitors on Bond Street. Harry, Peabody, and Barclay. Yes. I'd like to speak person to Jonathan Peabody. Yes, thank you. As soon as you can. Is it possible? Could Raven know that Jamie inherits everything? Could she know?